folks, today we're doing skirt steak and a corn salsa. This is one of these meals that we really enjoy here in the Washington household, so I'll show you how to do it. We're going to fire up the grill, get it nice and hot for that skirt steak. It'll make it nice and tender because skirt steak traditionally is not really an easy cut of beef, but we'll change that today. We'll show you how to do it right now. So I've got my skirt steak here. As you can see, it's a nice big piece of meat. You can see the grains running along here. When we get done with this, we want to make sure we cut against the grain. That'll just make this meat nice and tender. You can see all the marbling in there. That's just going to create some really good flavor. So really good cut of meat, specifically for fajitas and tacos and things like that. So we're going to give it a shot tonight again with our corn salsa. A lot of people like to marinate their flank steak, makes it a lot more tender. We're not going to do that today. We're just going to keep it simple. Some olive oil, salt and pepper. We'll throw it on a nice hot grill, sear it up, and we'll cook it probably to about a medium rare. Anything beyond that makes it really tough. So we'll get this seasoned up and prepared for the grill, and we'll catch up with you guys here shortly. Alright, as you can see, we got the big green egg rolling today. Temperatures are scorching. That's the one cool thing about the egg. Having it up at over 500 degrees is no big deal for this grill. That's going to be fantastic for this sear. So we're going to get this strip steak, going to throw it on, get it seared up. The idea behind this is to actually sear it on one side for 4 minutes untouched, flip it for another 4 minutes untouched, and then we're going to completely shut all the vents on the big green egg to just let it rest in there for a couple minutes, and that's just going to lock those flavors in. This is going to be really good. So stay tuned, and I'll show you some images of how everything's looking through the cook. This is the sound of victory right here. Oh man, it sounds fantastic. I'll close this dome up. I'm gonna give it about 4 minutes. See what it looks like. This is gonna be good. Alright guys, it's been 4 minutes. Let's open this up. See what we got. Ooh, smoke clears. That looks fantastic. Flip it over. Look at the sear on that. Oh, that's pretty. That is gorgeous. Alright, let's shut the dome back down. 4 more minutes. Then after that, what we're going to do actually is take it out of the grill, put it in the cast iron pan, then we'll put both items back into the big green egg and just let it sit in the big green egg for about 5 minutes. The reason why we're going to do that is because we're going to actually cook the corn salsa in the cast iron skillet. So all the remnants of that beef will be left behind to cook that salsa. Just creates a much better flavor. Alright guys, take a look at this. It's kind of where we stand right now. Again, seared 4 minutes on both sides. Putting it in the cast iron skillet, covered it with a little bit of that parquet squeezable butter. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to put this back on the grill, and then we're going to shut down all the vents. And when we do that, all the smoke that you see coming out of the grill is then going to be forced into that meat. So there's no more smoke coming out of the vents. I'm going to shut the vents down. Both vents will be fully closed, and that meat's just going to soak up that smoke. We're going to let it sit there for about 6 minutes. I think that'll get us down to that medium temperature that my wife prefers on this piece of meat. And we'll come back in a couple minutes and see what we got. Alright folks, let's open this up and see what we got. Got to be really careful though. There's been no oxygen to the fire, so we got to make sure that the fire just doesn't ignite like crazy. But that's what we wanted right there. So we're going to get this off the grill. We're going to wrap it in some foil, let it rest while we start working on our corn salsa. Look at that. Look at that. That's awesome. And like I said, all those juices and everything right there we're going to use to make this corn salsa. So give me 1 second, we'll get the corn salsa rolling. Alright guys, for our corn salsa, here's our ingredients. You got about a cup of frozen corn, 1 lime, about a half cup of red onion, and 1 diced jalapeno. We're going to add a little bit of cumin, a little dry leaf oregano, and some paprika. This is going to be really good. So right now we're going to go ahead and start by adding in our onion and our peppers. We'll get those going. We'll let those cook down for a while. And then we'll add the rest of our ingredients. But this is going to be really good. Again, it's going to suck up all that extra flavor from that beef. It's going to be good, trust me. We'll come back here in a second when the onions and peppers are ready. We'll add some corn. And this will probably be done in the next 5 minutes, so it doesn't take long at all. So we'll be right back. Alright folks, we're back. We're going to open the big green egg up and see how our onions and jalapeno peppers are doing. Oh yeah, that looks good. Oh man, I wish you guys could smell this. This is fantastic. That's kind of what you want to see with those onions. They're kind of becoming clear. I'll let you know that it's about ready to add your cup of corn. And again, this is frozen corn. That's fine. And then from there, you want to add a couple shakes of oregano. Not a whole lot. A pinch of paprika. Just going to give it some nice color, nice smoky flavor as well. And some cumin. The thing about cumin is cumin's a very powerful seasoning, so you don't need a whole lot of it. Maybe not even a teaspoon of cumin. And just a little shake of salt. So we'll get this blended up nicely. I'd say in about 2 to 3 minutes this will be ready to pull off. And the cool thing about this meal is you can eat it just as it is. You can take the corn salsa, slice up the steak and have it as a side dish. Or what we're going to do tonight is actually throw these in some tortillas and kind of make some mock fajitas. So stay tuned. We'll get the steak cut up here so you'll see what it looks like. But everything is coming together nicely. So I went ahead and cut into the flank steak. We let it rest for about 10 minutes. It's a little bit more done than what I would prefer it to be, but that's okay. You live and learn. But as you can tell, man, this thing is still nice and juicy. It's still nice and tender. Again, you want to cut it against the grain. If you cut it with the grain, then you're going to have an extremely chewy piece of meat. But again, you can see that's nice and juicy. That's that's what you want right there. So I'll continue to get this sliced up. Our corn salsa is coming along really well. We'll hit that with a little bit of lime here in a second, and we'll be ready to eat. Alright folks, there's the results of the corn salsa. The last little bit, again, you have a little lime there, although this lime's not very juicy at all. But you squeeze a little lime juice in there, just bring those flavors right on out. And this is going to be ready to pull off. We'll be ready to eat here in just a second. Again, this thing just smells so good. Everything came together nicely. So we'll get this pulled off. We'll plate it up and I'll show you what it looks like. Alright folks, that's the finished product. We got our skirt steak with our corn salsa. Again, you can do it without the tortilla. You just eat it as a meal by itself. But tonight, we're going to wrap this thing up, and it's going to be delightful. Again, this is one of our favorite meals. We've been doing this one now probably weekly for the past 3 or 4 weeks, and it just turns out really well. So give it a shot. Very simple. Again, I'll leave the ingredients in the description, but you can't go wrong. Real quick and easy. 30-minute meal. Enjoy.
Almost forgot. That's good.